Alrighty, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Monday, January the 17th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. A lot to get into here on this Monday. A great day to call in. I'm sure there's going to be many. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls, of course, as well. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. If you're still enjoying your weekend, of course, the long weekend. Hope you're all doing well. I see Dylan Prothman, Brian Dean, Todd Smith, Brendan and Brian Lattimore, Cody Gaskins, Jeff, Travi, Twan, Love Kicks. Again, lot to get into, lot to discuss. You guys kind of know where the direction of this show is going today. So again, we'll discuss that also, guys. If you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure that your questions are answered. Let's go ahead and get this ad read out of the way, guys, because again, I know we're probably going to be taking a lot of calls. So before we do, I want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies, but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're a real human being. You're not just a number. You should be treated as such. Guys, they're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. And involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be, the last thing you should be dealing with, worrying about dealing with paperwork, the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, guys, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, they're friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, the Daily Crow, Monday, January the 17th, 2022. A lot to get into, a lot to discuss. The phone lines are open, and I do want to hear from you. And again, guys, of course, the topic of conversation today revolves around South Carolina basketball and more importantly, the future and what needs to happen. Now, I said it on the podcast today, and I will say it again, because I want to make it very clear, and that's why I was very patient in regards to calling for any changes. I really wanted to make sure I was able to articulate my opinion and my thoughts on it in a way where you all understood where I was coming from. Because as I'm sure you've already seen, you've already noticed, there is, and I saw somebody comment, I think it was Luke RJ on social media commented, the word of the day is vitriol. And the reason he says that is because, again, I've said it multiple times, there is no vitriol to Frank Martin. There's no ill will his way. But as the sign behind me says, this fan base is checked out on basketball. And I hate to see it. And we all hate to see it. And it's time for a change. It's a relationship that has run its course. The program is going nowhere. There's no one right now who can justify to me or tell me any reasons why I should be optimistic and excited about the future of Gamecocks men's basketball. There's nothing to point to. There's no recruiting victories, recruiting successes. You're not winning games on the floor. Frank Martin isn't like evolving or changing as a coach. Things just are what they are. The program has gotten stale. And I've danced around it for a while because, as we all know, I was the Fire Will Muschamp guy. And I caught a lot of flack and a lot of heat for being said guy. And what's funny is 2 or 3 years ago, if you were to call for Frank Martin's job or even suggest that maybe a change could be and should be imminent, you would straight up get bullied off social media. Fans would completely lose their collective shit. Now, I don't think what I'm saying is all that bold. I don't think what I'm saying is all that outlandish. Because again, doing what I do, I've got a pretty good feel on the pulse of Gamecock Nation. And what I can tell, what I've seen, what I've heard from fans directly, fans have checked out. Fans are checked out on Gamecocks men's basketball. And guys, having passion, having energy, that's not the worst case scenario. Even being upset, even being angry, that's not the worst case scenario. That's not the worst case scenario. Apathy is. And that's the point you've reached. Again, I think Frank Martin's a good basketball coach. I think Frank Martin knows the game of basketball. The question's never been, is he a good basketball coach? But the program is dead. There's no way around that. There's no way you can reason otherwise, point to things. And I see already in the comments, Jimmy Mitchell comments. Jimmy Mitchell says, you just lost me as a follower. You're not helping the situation. You're only hurting the program. You did it with football, now basketball. Jimmy, I will never apologize for keeping it a buck. I will never apologize for keeping it a buck. So if I got to be that guy, Jimmy, because here's the other option, Jimmy. Continue to pretend like things are okay and brush it under the rug, and it never gets brought to the forefront, and change never happens, and we just have a mediocre basketball program for the rest of our lives. Again, having energy one way or the other, having uncomfortable conversations, that's not the worst case scenario. Apathy is. So, Jimmy, you can see yourself right out the door, my guy. I'm not apologizing at all. Again, I think I've been as reasonable about the situation as anybody out there. Many have called for this to happen before I have. I waited as long as I could, truly. But the program's dead. The program is dead. There's no life in the program. Again, I feel for Frank Martin. In a way, I do. Because I think he's done a good job getting this program even to the point he got it to. I mean, getting to a Final Four. Who would have ever thought? But again, you've just plateaued. I mean, there's just, people are checked out, Jimmy. They're checked out. They're checked out, Jimmy. You're checked out. I'm checked out. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody's excited. There's no reason for optimism. There's no reason for positivity. It's very similar to the end of the Will Muschamp era. It is what it is. So again, if that irks you, if you want to hit the unfollow button, be my guest. Be my guest. As someone in my position, and not speaking from an ego standpoint of I know more than you do, but from the position we're in, where we've built up a platform and have a voice, it's my responsibility at this point to not continue to beat around the bush. Because, hey, I'll tell you this, Jimmy, even if we disagree, even if you disagree that Frank Martin, and thank you, Todd Smith, for the super chat, appreciate you, but listen, even if you disagree, like I don't have any animosity to Frank Martin at all. But even if you disagree, you can't disagree. The program is dead. The program's stale. Jimmy, nobody gives a damn. That is your biggest problem. And if the season continues at the rate it's going, you're probably going to win some nice games. You're probably going to, you're going to lose some you shouldn't, win some maybe you should, whatever. You're going to have that typical Frank Martin year. Okay? You're going to have that typical year. Let's say you bring Frank back. How are you going to sell tickets? How are you going to sell anything around the program? People are done, Jimmy. They're done. So if you disagree, give me your thoughts. How do you save Gamecocks basketball? The men's side, of course. How do you save Carolina basketball? Because people wanted to talk about Shane Beamer's program being on life support. No, the men's basketball program is on life support. And the only reason there haven't been more people vocally calling for a change, you know why? You know why the real reason is? Because we're not as passionate about basketball as we are football. It really irked us and hurt us when basketball, we saw it going down the tube under Muschamp. Again, I'm tired of treating basketball, men's basketball, like the redheaded stepchild. Like, I want us to be good in basketball. I want to care about basketball. I want people to look forward to basketball. So there's only 3 things that can re-energize the program. Number 1, landing a big-time, game-changing type of prospect. 5-star kid, whoever, McDonald's All-American, someone that gives you hope for the future. That's number 1. Number 2, winning. Just flat out winning. A massive turnaround. Winning games, going on a winning streak, making a real push for postseason play. And the final thing that can re-energize the program is changing the head coach. It's not year 2 or 3 or 4, it's year 10. And we all said before the season, if the Gamecocks are not competing for March Madness and postseason play, you got to really look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, do we need to go a different direction? Again, don't think Frank Martin's like a bad basketball coach, but he's an old school coach in a new school game. He's an old school coach in a new school game. So, again, I have no vitriol to Frank Martin, no animosity. Again, I kind of feel for him. I kind of feel for him in this way. He's not wrong in a lot of the points he makes. Hey, best decade in school history. SEC record's been pretty damn good over the last 4 or 5 years. Right? We've won some big games. This is not a Will Muschamp situation where dude was a dickhead and was driving the program into oblivion. I don't think that's really the case. But again, the program's just, it's dead. It's dead. So you can hate me if you want. Again, I'm far from the first person to say this, by the way. I've had some fun on social media about it, like joking about it and stuff like that. But I'm far from the first person. I'm far from the first person. And again, selfishly, I'll be totally transparent with you all. Selfishly, I waited as long as I could in hopes that things would turn around because I didn't really want to be, oh, there goes Chris calling for another coach's job. But I mean, dude, it's year 10 and nobody's looking forward to the games. I trust me, I have a unique vantage point. I can tell you from the interaction numbers and engagement numbers, people aren't nearly as excited about basketball as they are football, for example. And I know that might sound like an obvious, but I mean, most people I talk to are like, Chris, thank God we're starting to talk baseball tomorrow, which thank God we are. Thank God we are. Thank God we are. But listen, Gamecock Central's not going to do it. The Big Spur's not going to do it. The state's not going to do it. So I got to do it. We got to do it. Bottom line, we got to do it. We got to be the ones that do it. Let's have the uncomfortable conversation. Let's show we care about the program. Call for change. And it ain't nothing personal. It's business. It's business, homie. That's what it's business. Business, comma, man. It's business. Hey, you get paid millions of dollars to coach. You got to win. It ain't personal. It's nothing personal. It's business. And guess what? Business is bad right now. Business is bad. You bring back Frank next season, you don't make the tournament, then business will be bad because business for South Carolina is selling tickets. Business is not good. Anyways, guys, would love to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Again, I dreaded this day. I really honestly dreaded this day because but I'll tell you what, though, at this point, calling for Frank Martin's job is like the only thing at this point that's going to make the men's basketball season exciting. Truly. I mean, really, though. It's the only thing that's going to make the men's basketball season entertaining is now the conversation turns to, hey, can Frank Martin save his job the rest of the way out? Because, hey, if we go on a run, sure. But is that likely to happen? Probably not. Probably not. And Joe Anders, I don't know when the last time you've been to a game was, but I tell you what, man, we're not putting a lot of butts in those seats. So I don't know what numbers you're looking at or what have you, but business ain't booming when it comes to men's basketball. It's not. I've been to every single game, and the attendance for a lot of them, most of them have been pretty pathetic. So I don't know. There's just using my two eyes and my brain, though. So you tell me. Again, I don't think I'm being over the top. I don't think I'm being unfair. I think the people that that are just so, that are going to come at my throat and are so adamantly against changing coaches, I would ask a guy like Joe Anders, who's been all in my comments, just whatever. I would ask Jimmy, whatever his name was from earlier.
Call from.
Give me reasons to be optimistic about the future of the basketball program. Combat what I'm saying, because most of you can't do it. All right, let's jump to the phone lines. Skyland, what's up, man? How you doing?
Welcome, my friend. Welcome.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just hanging out. Excited to talk some baseball this week, man. We'll start tomorrow talking starting pitchers, and then Thursday we'll talk relievers, and every Tuesday, Thursday leading up to first pitch, we'll break down a different position unit. So, yeah, got to do something to distract from the product on the hardwood, I guess. So,
well, I'm dealing with 8 inches of snow over here, down here in Duncan, South Carolina.
Yeah, all across the state, people got snow. Columbia, we got absolutely nothing. So,
really?
No, we got some cold rain, and that's it. So,
jeez, my God. Yeah, we got 8 inches of snow down here in Duncan. Oh, well.
Yeah, no, I know why you're calling in, Skyland, and I mean, I totally get it, man. I just, I waited as long as I could, but the real reason, it's not because you lost to Florida, it's not because you're 1-3 in SEC play, it's not because you're 10-6 overall. It's just because nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. That's your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is not that you lost to Florida. Your biggest problem is that your entire fan base, for the most part. I mean, again, if you just said what I'm saying 2 or 3 years ago, you would have gotten ripped off social media, literally bullied off the internet. But, it's not a hot take anymore. It's not a hot take anymore. Fans are done. Fans are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Fans are checked out on, and I really don't think anybody dislikes Frank as a human being, but people are checked out on his antics because, hey, it's not as much fun watching your coach be an asshole when you're not winning. You know what I mean? It's just not. So I think fans are checked out. And again, I have one of two choices. We all really do, but I sitting here have one of two choices. I can either be passive the rest of the way out and just turn my attention to baseball and just kind of say, oh, it'll be okay with basketball. Or we can actually make something of it and try to push some positive change. I mean, because again, the people that are so worried – I feel like the only people that are strongly, adamantly fighting for Frank to say, I think they're just scared of change. And I get it. There's a lot of folks that are scared of change, but you can't let a fear of change. There are people scared to change after Muschamp. There are people saying, who are we going to hire after Muschamp? So that's a bad, that's a bad argument, if you will. So
I'll tell you who I want. I'll tell you, I will want the guy at Furman or the guy at Rental. You're not going to go out here and get a big name. You're South Carolina basketball. You're not the elite program in basketball. You're a nobody at basketball. But you're paying Frank over $3 million a year to do nothing. It doesn't matter if you win 6 games or win 20 games. If you don't make the tournament, your season's a failure because the tournament is the goal.
I mean, listen, again,
It's not just
I
plain and
don't
simple.
dislike Frank, as I said before many, many times. It's just the relationship's just run its course. It just has. Because from what I can tell, Frank Martin is not evolving as a basketball coach. So we're just going to keep doing the same shit over and over again. You know, he's not like Nick
And the
Saban where
sad
he's
thing is-
evolving with the times. And we're just the same thing. We're the same thing.
It's the same story, same movie over and over and over.
Right.
You're going to get beat Tuesday, and you're going to possibly get beat Saturday.
So, I mean, yeah, here's the thing. I mean, it's, you know, yeah, I just, you know, maybe the next guy you hire stinks. Maybe he stinks. But damn it, you'll never know if you don't try. Shane Beamer could have stunk. You know, like it's always a risk. It's always a risk. But man, you can't let the risk hold you back from, you know. And again, I would love to, as I said before on the football side of things, when I called for Muschamp's job. Listen, man, we've got 14 SEC games left. I'd love to win them all. I'd love to win all 14 in a row. And Frank Martin revitalizes his career in Columbia, and you know what I mean. Like, I would love to see. We all just want to win, but there's no indication that that's going to happen. There's none. Even the most adamant Martin supporter right now, they might bitch and moan at me for going public saying fire Frank Martin, but they can't give me any reasons why we should be positive about the future of Gamecock basketball. Not a single thing. Because recruiting isn't good. I mean, what's tough is I like the players on this team. There's a lot of individual players, obviously, I really like, but it's just not clicking. It's just not clicking. Bottom line, it's not clicking.
People think, I tell you this, people think Frank Martin is the best we can do. People think if we fire Frank Martin, a better program, then South Carolina basketball will come and try to hire Frank Martin. And I just don't think that's the case. I don't know if I would say basketball left Frank Martin, but he's not willing to change his style of play to adjust to the new to the game, and that's what's killing Frank Martin. The roster is terrible. We might have 2 SEC basketball players on roster, 2 or 3, but most of them are smaller college players, as you can tell. You're not putting up points a game. You've been the same team since 2017. And really in 2017 you was pretty bad too, but you just got hot at the right time. I'm not saying you was bad, but you made the tournament and you got hot. You better run for it. If it wasn't for that run, is Frank Martin still the coach today?
No, absolutely not.
And the thing is, he didn't recruit off of it. He didn't change his style. He didn't go get guys that come here. He just didn't recruit off of it. It's time for a change. I'm not. I know there's women listening in, and I'm not saying this to be downgrading women, but if women could pack out Cornell Life Arena, why can't they men?
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm proud of the women, and I'm proud of what they accomplish and what they do, and how they sell tickets. And I'm proud that the women carry the basketball program, but there isn't that many teams in women's basketball that are competitive. There's like 3 or 4 that can win a national championship right now. If the women can sell 1,800 seats, why can't the men? Because if you watch the men play, there's seats everywhere.
Yeah, I've been at every game. I know.
Oh, let's talk baseball. A question for you: Do you go with a veteran on Friday night and Julia Bosnick, or do you go with the sophomore on Friday night?
No, I go with Will. No, I go with Will.
He's gonna throw high 90s.
I go righty, lefty, righty,
90s.
and I mean, listen. I mean, you say the veteran versus the. I mean, dude, Will Sanders pitched an entire season in the SEC last year. He's not a greenhorn anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? You go through the SEC grind once, like, you know, I mean, obviously, again, you're going to get better with more experience. I'm not saying experience isn't important, but he more than got acclimated to what he's going to face this season. He got more than acclimated to that last year. So I don't worry about experience or anything like that. Heck, Thomas Farr never been a Friday guy. So, no, yeah, I go with Sanders Friday. I go with Boz Saturday. And then, yeah, I think from there it's a battle between a couple different guys for that job. I've never been like I guess if you got to go Johnny Holstaff, you do. I've never really been a huge fan of that. I think it's beneficial to have a number 3 and just have your guy locked in. And I think they got plenty of options. So,
I tell you what bothers me about Kingston and this staff is not having a 3 and 4 guy. The past few years, I know last year we had a 3 guy, but the previous year we didn't. This year we don't, and we've never had a 4 guy, and that bothers me. I just feel like it's South Carolina. You're a program that should have a Tuesday starter every year. You shouldn't have to go Johnny Holstaff on Tuesday.
I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I would just say this though, with all due respect. I mean, Vanderbilt didn't have a 3 guy last year. I mean, it's it's more common in college baseball to not, and a lot of teams that do, they quote unquote have a 3 guy. There's a lot of teams that have a 3 guy that's got an ERA that's like a 7, so 6 or 7. So I mean, yeah, I don't think it's an indictment that we don't have just 3 studs. You know what I mean? Like it's most staffs, I think, beyond the first 2, they it's kind of wide open.
And baseball has changed. Baseball has changed to you've got to be able to score 6+ runs a game to give yourself a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
That is the truth.
I mean, every sport is more offensive gear now, but baseball is the one I still say great pitching does beat great hitting. So, having the best arms, especially when you get in the postseason, that's you got to be productive at all. It's all timely hitting in the postseason, but you got to have those pitchers. You got to have those pitchers. Bottom line.
If you're, who do you think is going to take the Sunday spot up?
Bro, honestly, I don't know. I mean, it'd be a total guess from me right now. So I'm excited to get out there and watch them scrimmage. I hope they drop that schedule soon, the scrimmage schedule, if you will. But excited to get out there and watch them play, man. Just kind of get a feel for some of the guys, a lot of the new guys, obviously. So I don't know. At this moment, I don't know. I mean, that's something I'll be diving into, obviously, deeper on the podcast tomorrow because we're literally breaking down starting pitchers. So I won't even give a projected rotation, though. But we get to the week of opening day, I will. But there's plenty of options. Just listen, this is the time. The next 4 weeks or so, this is the time where guys are going to step up, win jobs, win roles. So yeah, I mean, I think there's certainly plenty of options. It's just who steps up.
It concerns me. That's all. Ain't nothing but a ride, buddy. It ain't nothing but a ride.
Yeah, for sure. Now, listen, pitching's the question. Pitching is, for me, I think pitching's the question with this team. Pitching's the question with this team. I think the lineup's going to be a lot better. I think you'll be much more productive. But you do lose a lot in the pitching staff. So who's going to fill those roles?
You're going to give up a lot
question.
of runs this year. You're going to give every Friday and Saturday, you're going to have a chance to win. It's that Sunday and Tuesday and the back of the bullpen.
I think we'll be able to manage in the midweek. I'm not too concerned with, you don't need a Jack Mahoney to win every Tuesday night. So we could throw Brett Thomas or Parker Coyne or Josiah Seitler, and I'd feel confident winning on a Tuesday.
Yeah, me too. But I just want to win, and I'm concerned about this baseball team this year, especially on the pitching standpoint. Hitting, there's a lot of holes. Last year you knew what was going to happen. You know what was coming back. You know what the players could do. You knew what you knew. But this year, it's just too many holes. You don't know nothing. You got new guys all around the field. You got new guys in the lineup, new pitchers. It's kind of like, what are they going to do? Nobody knows what they're going to do. So it's really frustrating, especially as me as a baseball lover. I pick baseball over any sport, any day. So I've been trying to piece the puzzles together, and I just can't.
Well, we're going to do that over the
But
next couple of
if you,
weeks, my guy. We're going to do that over the next couple of weeks. I'm excited again to start breaking down this team, and I feel good about this team. I feel good about this team. Again, a lot of teams have questions, man. Every team, guys have got to fill in and again fill roles and step up. And great news is we got talent. It's not a talent issue. We got talent.
yeah, but
So
when you go to the scrimmages, and you pitch shuts the hit down, you're just like, oh, we got good pitching, terrible hitting. And if the hitting kills the pitching, you're just gonna be like, we got some good hitters, or our pitching just really sucks. So you really don't get nothing out of scrimmages either. So.
Well, that's why it's a good thing it's not my first rodeo watching a baseball scrimmage, Colin. So.
Yeah, that's true. All righty. Well, I'll just let you get out of here. Have you got your prediction for tomorrow's game yet?
No, I'll do that tomorrow. So.
All righty. Well, I'll be listening in.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Good stuff as always. 843-790-3377, guys. Again, taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Of course, the big news today and the big topic of discussion is South Carolina men's basketball, the future of Gamecocks men's basketball. But by the way, in case you missed it on the podcast this morning, Gamecocks baseball content is back this week. Very excited to get the baseball content going literally tomorrow as we'll begin to break down the position unit previews tomorrow. We'll start with starting pitchers. Thursday's show will be relievers, and then we'll get into our position players next week. And, we're actually starting our countdown down tomorrow as well. Really excited for that. Going to be a good time. Let's check the phone lines here.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send.
What's going on? You're on the air.
Yeah, man. I just want to say the thing that I think will make South Carolina basketball great again is hiring B.J. Mackey, man.
I'm game with that. Sign me up.
Yeah, I was Frank Martin, probably one of his biggest supporters, man. But I see what it is now, man. It's he's lost the handle on it, and we can't ever get back close to the Final Four unless we get some highly athletic players that know how to run his defense. And I don't think that's going to happen because we get nothing but junior college transfers, and they're not it, man. He's lost the state in recruitment. I mean, probably never had it unless you want to count Thornwell and Dozier. But other than that, man, we need some new blood. I think B.J. Mackey would do the programs some good.
Yeah, you speak on the Final Four, man. I was just going to say I'd just love to get back to being on the bubble. I mean, truly, I'd love to just get back to being on the bubble, much less get into a Final Four. Yeah. Just have a reason to really be engaged until the end of the season. And again, I feel for Frank in a way, man, because I get it. It is hard to win at South Carolina. I'm not saying it's not. I think we all understand the challenge. But you're right, man. It's the way that they have not been able to capitalize since the Final Four run is damn near unforgivable. And again, I don't think there's anybody out there that, maybe there's some, but I think the majority, people don't hate Frank Martin, but it's just a relationship that's just run its course, man. It just is what it is. We need new blood. We need a new voice. We need new energy. We need reasons to have hope and optimism. And listen, hope's not a strategy, but if you don't have hope, you don't have anything. And right now, I just think hope, for the most part, has been lost for the future of the program.
Yeah, you're right. And the other thing is, this is not the 80s, 90s no more, man. You have to change your style. And it ain't happening for him, man. It's just like Kyle Shanahan. The way he used Debo, you use your best personnel with what you got. We just ain't even got nobody that can take over, except maybe that freshman, Devin Carter. He looked like he's the only one that really got some heart.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We got a 6'8" point.
Yeah.
We got a 6'8" point guard coming in next year. I really hope he let that kid run the show because being 6'8" and point guard in the XGC, nobody shouldn't stand in his way. But, Frank ain't never gave the team to a freshman before.
Right. Yeah, but again, I just, it's – I see the fan base, hear the fan base. People are just checked out, man. Again, it's people kicking and screaming and being upset and having anger and angst. That's not the worst case scenario, because when people do that, it just means you care. That's all it means. Apathy is the worst case. And right now, I feel like apathy has fully set in. People aren't excited for the games anymore. They're, game day is not something they look forward to. We play Georgia this Saturday at 3:30. Do you really think people are planning their weekends around that game? Like, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Nah.
So
not even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what else to say, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No, great insight. I appreciate the call. Yeah, you too. I appreciate the call. That's Frank's biggest problem, man. It's not that you lost to Florida. It's not that you're, painfully inconsistent. It's not that you turn the basketball over way too much. It's just that fans have, for the lack of a better way of putting it, given up for most I've seen. And again, I would love to hear from those that maybe be tuned in and maybe you disagree with what I'm saying. Beauty's in the banter. Give me reason to believe that the program is somehow on a positive trajectory and that there's real hope and optimism for the future. Here's the kicker. Give me real reasons there's hope and optimism for the future without citing the Final Four in 2017. Because you can't, for the most part. You can't. So, I'm just tired of men's basketball again being the redheaded stepchild. I'm tired of men's basketball being shoved to the wayside. That's why nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversation, because people don't give a damn enough about men's basketball to have that conversation. They'd rather just be comfortable and say, oh, well, it's okay. We're not supposed to be good at basketball anyways. Like, to hell with that, man. Like, if we're going to watch every game, if we're going to go to every game, I mean, for the love of God, put a product out there that's at least entertaining. Anyways, want to continue to hear from you guys. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. And again, guys, I said on the show today, this is a different scenario than the Will Muschamp thing was, right? I'm not going to be making Fire Frank Martin merch and beating a dead horse day after day after day. But again, we all came into the season and we knew what had to be done. And we knew what the expectations were. And we knew if you don't make the tournament this year in year 10 and you go 1 for 10 in tournament appearances, it might be time to look yourself in the mirror and say, do we need to go a different direction? And again, for me, it's not even the one tournament in 10 years thing. It's the fans having no reason to be excited or optimistic for the future. Again, it doesn't have to be sports. Think about relationships, friendships even. When you're arguing with someone or you're passionately even disagreeing or what have you, that's not the worst case, because that means you care. Nobody's kicking and screaming really right now. Nobody's, there's nowhere near the uproar that there was with Will Muschamp and calling for his job. Why is that the case? Because people are checked out. Apathy has set in. Nobody gives a damn. That is your biggest problem. That's your biggest problem. So again, we can continue to push men's basketball to the side and pretend like, oh, whatever, doesn't even matter. We're not supposed to be good in basketball anyways. We can do that, or we can actually give a damn and call for a change and want more out of the basketball program. Travis says, I remember back in the day at Frank McGuire Arena, and that place was lit in the mid to late 90s. Jimmy Mitchell says, the season's not over, let it run its course. Jimmy, hey, I hear you. You win the next 14 in a row, or you go on. And that's why I said on social media, barring a major turnaround, There needs to be a change. But, Jimmy, there's nothing that says that a major turnaround is coming. We're headed down a very similar path as years past. And again, I would prefer us to win the next 14 games in a row and make a run to the tournament. I would prefer that because I don't dislike Frank Martin. Frank Martin's done a lot of good things for us, taken us to some heights I think many people didn't think were possible. So again, I waited as long as I could. I really did. I waited much longer than some of you probably would have even preferred. No longer is it a hot take, though. It's not a hot take to say, maybe we need to change coaches. Maybe it would do us some good to inject some new blood in the program. It's not a hot take anymore. You know, it's everybody in the room's thinking it. I just got to be the guy to say it. And again, I'm far from the first person to say it. Far from it. So either way, hey, the beauty's in the banter, though. I want to hear from you. Again, I support, listen, I want to make that clear too. I support Frank Martin. I hope they win every game they got left. And I will continue to watch every single game. I'll continue to go to every single game. But we're just headed down a very similar path. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm sick and tired of us being checked out. All right, let's jump to the phone
Call
lines here.
from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
to accept.
Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? It's windy over here where I'm at.
It is very windy. It's very windy today. I'm doing well, though. Appreciate you asking.
Well, that's good. I wanted to bring up something. Nothing bad. But I remember whenever we had on the basketball team Zam Frederick, Sam Muldrow, and Devin Downey, and that I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
From like the 2007, 2008 year.
Right.
We might not have been good, but that team was fun to watch. I could have sat there and watched them play for hours. And I'll never forget, I was watching it, what year was it? 2010. It might have been 2000, might have been 09. I can't remember. I'll have to get back to you on that. But was I expecting us to beat, whenever we had Downey and those other guys, was I expecting us to beat Kentucky? No, I was not expecting us to beat Kentucky. But did I know we had a chance because of how good we have been, how aggressive we were on both sides of the floor? Yes, I knew we had a chance by doing that. And I just feel like once the team that we have now gets down, they try too hard to try to come back. Because they feel like, oh crap, we're fixing to let the ship sink again. This isn't good. And then they try too hard and they wind up missing more shots than they make. And then it winds up being one and done. And then it just snowfalls from there.
Yeah, there's a disconnect for sure. This team just right now, just speaking to the team on the floor, this team's just too inconsistent and does a lot of things that bad basketball teams do. The turnovers, the boneheaded plays, the boneheaded mistakes. Exactly. Yeah, just, and it just happens too often. It just happens too often.
Yeah, it's happened way too often. And like you said, Frank Martin's a great guy. He is. He's an absolute stand-up guy.
And let's also make something clear. Let's make something clear. You don't get paid to be a stand-up guy. I don't give a damn if you're Bruce
Exactly.
Pearl. I don't care if
You
you're
don't.
Will Wade or Bruce Pearl, but they win a lot of games. That's why they get paid.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
why
care
that's
if
why
my
they
head
make
basketball
money, and that's
coach
why
or
they get contracts
my
that
head
come-
football coach or my baseball coach or I don't care if they're kissing
Exactly.
babies on the weekends. They're paid to win. Like I don't care.
Yes, exactly. You get paid to win, and if you don't win, you get fired.
Having good character is a bonus. That's not the number one requirement of the job. That's a bonus.
Exactly.
Call me crazy if you want, but hey, I've said it many times about Gamecocks football. I'd trade having Urban Meyer for a year and winning a national title. I'll make that trade. I will make that trade right now. I would do it because I just want to win.
Yeah.
I'm not attached and tied to these coaches or whoever's personal lives or character. It doesn't reflect on me.
Right.
I don't care. We just want to win games.
Right.
I'm a fan of the team.
Yeah, we just want to see our favorite school succeed. That's all we want.
Yep. I don't care how it gets done. Just get it done.
I like. What's the best way to say this? I watched the girls' game yesterday, obviously.
Yeah, great win. Great win, by the way.
And if I looked at the stats correctly, we turned the ball over 19 times against Arkansas.
That sounds about right. We have
won
turned
the
it over
game,
a lot.
but we looked horrible.
Yeah, we have turned it over
We
a lot.
won the game, but we played horrible.
Yeah, 19 turnovers. You are correct.
As far as taking care of the basketball, played like trash, but we won the ball game. And as usual, Aaliyah Boston had another double-double. But yesterday just shows, like, it doesn't matter how good you are on paper. If you don't play well on game day, you're going to probably get beat. It's just in the second half, we were up by 20. In the third quarter, we were up by 20, and I was like, okay, we're fixing to basically. Honestly, I literally thought, I was like, okay, we're fixing to put this game away, and we're going to leave at Arkansas. And then I left my room for like not even 5 minutes. Come back into my bedroom, and the lead cut to 5. I was like, what? It's just we had an off day, but we got lucky in some areas, and we wound up beating Arkansas, and we left Arkansas with a W. But with how many turnovers that we had yesterday, I'm surprised we beat Arkansas yesterday. I'm glad we won.
Great
but I was
teams find a way,
surprised
man.
with all we did.
Great teams with a lot of talent find a way to win. So, I mean, that certainly describes Dawn Staley's team, loaded with talent.
Yeah,
They
found
find
a way.
ways.
I like I said, I'm surprised, but we found a way to win. And I'll take it. It wasn't pretty, but that gummit, a W is a W, no matter how you get it. I don't care if you win by 20 or you win by 5 or you win by 2. A W is a W, and I'll take it. And I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm so ready for baseball season to get here too. I think I'll have to watch several series and a couple of midweek games to tell you, but I have a feeling that this team could make it to Omaha. If we hit a stride at the right moment at the right time and stay hot, I think this team could make it to Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, you get hot in postseason play. I mean, I think some pieces will have to come together in the pitching staff, and certainly you got to swing it a lot better. But I mean, again, that's the beautiful thing about Gamecocks baseball, and you always got a chance. So first step, get to the postseason. You'd like to host, and from there again, as I've said
Right.
before, a lot of it's about matchups and the way you match up with certain teams. But I mean, I do like this team. Again,
Yeah.
we'll dive into it a lot more the next couple of weeks. But I like this team a lot.
Yeah, I do too. A lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces. We're just gonna just have to do what we did for football. Just sit back and just watch and see how it goes from there.
For sure. It's all you can do. All we can do, my guy. All we can do.
Oh yeah. And why are people hating on you now? They go from hating on me to hating on you. What's the deal?
Robbie,
I feel like people don't like you and me.
Robbie, I get paid to get hate on. I don't really give a damn, truly. So it don't really matter to me, my guy. I just keep it authentic, keep it genuine, keep it real. Somebody's got to be that guy, and
that's it.
yeah, so somebody's got to be that guy, man.
Hey,
so
sometimes the truth hurts. Okay,
I mean, again, I could have very easily. I could have very easily after the game Saturday just said, ho hum, we lost again, no big deal. I'm just tired of brushing it under the rug at this point. I'm just kind of tired of brushing it under the rug. And honestly, man, watching the Tennessee game a week ago was like watching paint dry. And watching us lose to Florida was excruciating. So honestly, to make basketball season interesting, selfishly from my perspective, hey, maybe a little kick in the ass and say, hey, you got to save your job now over the last 14 games. Maybe that makes the season interesting. I don't know. Because there's no other reason the season's been interesting. The only other reason I've been interested in games is, well, is Stevie going to go off tonight for 20-plus points? That's pretty much it.
Right.
That's pretty much it. And again, there's a lot of individual pieces and individual players on this team I like. But
right.
I mean, good God, it's just dead. Again, there's no reason people even tune in or tune into the games.
Right.
So at least now, maybe it's like there's some juice in the season. It's like, oh, well, now there's a reason to pay attention. I mean,
right.
Again, I'll tell you this. Here's a little tidbit from the content side of things. The worst thing you can be is 500 because it's boring. It's just painfully boring. At least when you're here, and here's the problem. When you're 500, you're not bad enough to really warrant change or the calling for change, and you're not good enough to win anything of any significance. That's why they say an NFL franchise, the worst thing you can do every year is go 500. You're stuck in mediocrity. So that's just we've been floating there since the Final Four.
Speaking of NFL and 500. Speaking of NFL and 500, even though yes, my Steelers got their brains beat in last night, and I watched every single second.
Yeah, I mean everybody saw that coming.
I am a diehard.
Yeah,
huh?
Everybody saw that coming.
Oh, I did. Hey, I knew it too. I was like, we're probably gonna get our brains beat in. I told myself, we're probably gonna get our brains beat in, but I'm gonna watch it from start to finish. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna watch it because this could be, or very well is, the last time I'll see Big Ben in the Steelers uniform. Okay. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch it and whatever. And I thought to myself, I said, after the first quarter, I was like, if we play like this the whole game, we got a shot. And then next thing you know, the second quarter started, and then the floodgates opened, and God decided not to smile on the Steelers last night.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: did you know that ever since Mike Tomlin and Big Ben have been, I guess you could say, business partners or what have you? Okay, coach and quarterback, right? The Steelers have never ever had a losing record. We've either been 500 or better.
It's impressive.
We've never had a losing record.
That is indeed impressive.
Which is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You go your entire NFL career at quarterback and you never have a losing record? That's impressive. And I feel bad for the people that had the Buccaneers losing yesterday. if they made any bets yesterday, because the Buccaneers opened up a can and beat the team they played like a dog. I'm surprised I'm surprised they even scored 15 points. The team that the Buccaneers played yesterday.
Yeah. Indeed.
But like you and me both have said, when it comes to coaching, you either win and win often, or you're fired, or if you start losing, you're going to get fired. There's no beating around the bush. It's kind of like you and me both have said. It's basically like if you don't do well, you're going to get fired. So like basically, from the time a coach gets here, he's on the hot seat. If I don't win, I'm going to get fired. No matter where it goes. It doesn't matter if it's South Carolina or anywhere. It's that same way anywhere. If you don't win, you're going to get fired. And right now, the men's basketball team looks like straight garbage. Straight hot garbage. Will I be watching the games this week? Yes, I will be. If they're on TV, I'll be watching them regardless. But it's to the point now you got to be like, okay, we got to make a coaching change because this isn't working.
Indeed. Robbie, well said, my friend. We're running into our first break, but very well said as always, man. I appreciate you calling in.
Today, okay? All right, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. You too. Great stuff from Robbie as always. Lance, my guy, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're enjoying yourself down in Orlando. I appreciate you repping down there, my guy. Again, we're about to jump into our second hour. Before we do that, we're going to take a quick break, and I want to continue to hear from you, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, all that and more, guys. Again, your continued thoughts on South Carolina basketball, men's basketball specifically. Frank Martin, does a change need to be made? I'm on record. It's time. It's time for new blood in the program. The relationship, it's run its course. It's time to pull the trigger. I want to hear from you, your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break, guys. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All righty, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I do want to hear from you as we enter hour number 2. Crazy. Hour number 1 just flew by. Hope you're enjoying your Monday, guys, whether you're in the office, on the job. I think a lot of you may be on vacation, enjoying your day off. I know a lot of people have today off or are taking today off, whatever it is. Hope you're enjoying your time off. Hope you're enjoying, if you're one of the few that got snow, hope you're enjoying, maybe you're having a snow day on this Monday, whatever it is. Appreciate you all tuning in again. I want to continue to hear from you. We don't have to continue to harp on it. If you guys want to talk something else, we can. But, of course, the lead topic of discussion today does revolve around Gamecocks men's basketball and Frank Martin. Justin says, Chris, that Tory Gurley combo was great. He's a great Gamecock. Yeah, Justin, appreciate that. Yeah, quick reminder, guys. The podcast did drop this morning, episode 578. Also, we dropped a Big Cock Club exclusive conversation. Big Cock Club exclusive conversation with former Gamecocks wide receiver and friend of the show, Tory Gurley. You can listen to that conversation in full by going over to patreon.com/Big Cock Club. That's patreon.com/Big Cock Club. You can join today. Also, of course, the link will be in all of our social media channels. The link will be in our bio across all social media platforms. You can click that. You can join there. Also, guys, again, an exciting week. We're starting to talk Yardcocks, starting to talk Gamecocks baseball. Of course, tomorrow is 1 month from opening day. So we'll begin the countdown tomorrow as well. Baseball content beginning tomorrow I will begin the position unit preview series for the Yardcocks. So tomorrow we'll start talking starting pitchers. Thursday, we'll talk relievers, and the next week we'll dive into position players, and we'll keep it rocking until we get to the week of opening day. I think that Monday of that week is when I will drop my official predictions for the 2022 Yardcocks season, and then Thursday we'll have our series preview, and then Friday of that week will be opening day. So again, really excited for it, man. Obviously, you guys know I'm a huge baseball guy, and it's a lot of fun during baseball season. So really looking forward to that. Tanner Lane says, can we talk about something positive? Let's talk about that leg Beamer picked up. Yeah, 5-star kicker. I mean, you lose Parker White, you got to add a kicker, man. Having a kicker, it's one of those things you don't think about. You don't think about how important a good kicker is until you don't have one. So Jimmy Mitchell says, agree, always negative. Well, that is what many of our supporters are used to. Stay positive and let the admin do their job. If you want to make changes, do it there. Jimmy, I don't know really what you're talking about. It's not really, it's saying that there needs to be a change at the top of Gamecocks men's basketball is not being negative. It's being honest. So Jimmy, if you can't have an uncomfortable conversation, you can't be honest, so be it. But it's what I've built my business on. It's what I've built the Spurs Up show on. And I'm not changing anytime soon. I'm going to always keep it a buck. I'm always keep it 100. If something needs to happen, something needs to happen. There's no point in dancing around that point. So, hey, I've waited much longer than most out there. I've waited much longer than most. But I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired when it comes to Gamecocks basketball. And I want to have reasons to be excited about the basketball program and the future of the basketball program. And we don't have that. Again, that's the biggest problem. It's not that you lost to Florida. It's not that you're 10-6. It's not that you're 1-3 in SEC play. The problem is fans have checked out. So if it's uncomfortable to you, so be it. So be it. And hey, Joe Anders, you're right. Team should be 11-6 if that SC State game didn't get canceled. Hey, you got plenty of opportunities, 14 SEC games left. But, Joe, I think it's safe to say that it feels like the season's going down a very similar path as seasons past. I mean, I picked this team to go 6-12 in SEC play before the season started. Again, I ask yet again. The beauty's in the banter. We all just want to win. So I prefer, let's win the next 14 SEC games. Go to the tournament. Frank Martin revitalizes his career in Columbia. But nobody can give me realistic reasons why, number one, that's even possible. Nobody can give me realistic reasons why it's a possibility this team could go on some crazy run to close out the year and make the tournament. And nobody can give me realistic reasons why this program is on a positive trajectory and there's a bright future ahead. Nobody can do that. And Daddy-O, honestly, Daddy-O hits the nail on the head. Daddy-O hits the nail on the head. Daddy-O says the simple fact that Frank doesn't have a lot of public heat is just proof that the fans and boosters really don't give a shit about men's basketball at South Carolina. You literally couldn't have said it better. You literally couldn't have said it better. Think about it. Think about it. There was a lot of heat around Will Muschamp. Why was that? Hell, there was a lot of heat around Chad Holbrook. Why is that? Because fans are passionate, because fans care, because fans have expectations. They take it really personally. They're really passionate about it. You really don't see that on the men's basketball side. You just don't. There's apathy on the men's basketball side. Well, we're not supposed to be good at basketball anyways. It's whatever. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. I mean, I could continue to operate that way, continue to do it. But again, saying that we should really consider a change at the top of the basketball, that's not being negative. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to come to that conclusion. And again, I'm far from the first person saying it. I'm just someone that has a platform, that has a voice that will most certainly be heard. Again, I just want to make, as it says right here, I just want basketball to be fun again. I just want to have a reason to look forward to games and be excited. I don't think Frank Martin's a bad basketball coach. I think he knows the game very well. I think he's a good coach in that regard. You don't get to the Final Four if you're not a good coach. But the program needs new life. I mean, again, I would ask Joe Anders. I would ask the other dude, can you argue that? Can you argue that point that you feel like, can we at least all agree the program needs to be re-energized somehow? Somehow. Whether that's picking up a big-time, game-changing prospect in recruiting, whether that's simply put, winning and getting back to the postseason, or it's changing the voice that's leading the program, a.k.a. changing your head coach. One of those three things has to happen. But right now it feels like the most likely or the easiest to make happen is changing of the guard at head coach. I mean, again, nobody's sitting here saying, "Oh, people are gonna be as passionate and die hard for basketball as they will football. Football's king. We understand that, but again, I mean, there's, again, nobody wants to call for a coach's job. I get it. I get it. Nobody that is an uncomfortable conversation. But again, I'm not calling for Frank Martin to be. I'm not calling for it in the sense of I'm pulling for his unemployment. Again, that's the point people missed in the Muschamp conversation as well. They missed that point. Think critically for 5 seconds. I'm not pulling for his unemployment. Number one, Frank Martin's made enough money to chill. He's good. He is good. I can assure you he's good. But again, the relationships just run its course. It's just, you're no good for me. I'm no good for you. Let's just let bygones be bygones and go our separate ways. I said this last year, right after the 2021 season, in defense of Frank. I don't know if you guys recall this. I said, why would you come back if you're Frank Martin? Because you know that the expectations are to make the tournament or you're out. Jimmy Mitchell, you're a comedian, my guy. Says, you're energizing the fan base, all right. Great job. You survive off of this controversy. You are calling for the firing of Frank Martin. Jimmy, let's make one thing clear. That you survive off of this controversy remark. My guy, Jimmy, I could completely ignore men's basketball for the rest of the season and just switch to baseball. My business would not only survive, but thrive. So, Jimmy the Slapdick Mitchell, I guess, today. Jimmy wanted to get the Slapdick brand thrown on him today here on a Monday. Jimmy the Slapdick Mitchell, that could be farther from the truth. I could just talk football and baseball, and fans wouldn't mind. Again, not only would business survive, it would thrive. So you're wrong there. You're wrong there. Again, as a diehard Gamecock, I'm just tired of pushing basketball to the side and act like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to be that way. Sitting on your hands and saying nothing is the way to assure that's the case, too. That nothing, you know how you can assure nothing will happen? To do nothing, to say nothing. And again, I'm not Ray Tanner. I'm not the new president. You know, just because I'm on a podcast or on a live stream saying that, hey, maybe we should look to go a different direction, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Frank Martin very well may come back next year. But I'm just saying, barring a major turnaround, program needs new life, man. Again, Josh Smith, what could Frank Martin do the rest of the season to change your mind? We got to make the tournament, man. Bottom line, I said that over the summer. I said it in the preseason. I'll continue to say it. We got to make the tournament. That's it. We have to make the tournament. It's year 10. We've been once. Got to make the tournament. You've at least got to get close. I mean, at least be on the bubble. I'd take being on the bubble. Give fans a reason to be invested for the entirety of the season. And again, we're 1-3. We're not 1-10, right? Yes, Joe Anders, 8-6 the rest of the way would shock me. Yes, 8-6 would shock me. It would. Yes, absolutely, 100%. It would shock me. Yes, absolutely. This season is headed down the exact same trajectory and exact same path of years past. So yes, 8-6 would shock me. Yes. Am I saying it's impossible? Again, I actually like this team, believe it or not. I like individual pieces on this team. But this team as a whole hasn't shown that, we haven't shown we're all that great. I mean, guys, we're a final possession away from being freaking 0-4. I mean, we're a lot closer to 0-4 than we are, a positive record. So, I mean, again, guys like Joe Anders, guys like, Coach Mitchell, we'll just call Jimmy Mitchell, Jimmy the Slapdick Mitchell, Coach Mitchell. Guys like Coach Mitchell and Coach Anders, they take it so personally. It's not personal, it's business. And again, it's just the program's dead. There's apathy. And again, I don't know if Coach Anders and Coach Mitchell, they just don't want change because of it's uncomfortable to change. And, you're just so accustomed to Frank Martin. I get it. But again, I got a unique vantage point when it comes to, the fan base and the way they feel in basketball. And so, I hear from a lot of fans and talk to a lot of fans. And, I just want people to be excited and hopeful and optimistic about the future of the program again. And it's right now we don't have that. So, again, after today, guys, because, again, this is a topic of conversation. After today, it's not going to be like it was with the Will Muschamp stuff where I'm beating a dead horse day after day after day. But, if the losses continue to pile up, the writing's on the wall. I mean, again, it is what it is. Because here's my thing. If you don't make the tournament and you bring back Martin, you're literally telling your fan base, we do not care about winning in men's basketball. You can't argue otherwise. That's literally what you're saying. Again, men's basketball right now, even if Martin continues to be here for the next 10 years, we don't have any expectations. There's no expectations. There's no, people aren't planning their weekends around games. They're not planning their days around games. The program's just kind of there. Just kind of there. And I just want more for the program. That's it. I think we all just want more for the program. So, again, I don't dislike Frank. I think he's a good basketball coach. And again, I don't need some fire Frank Martin stuff to survive or what have you. I could just continue to talk Gamecocks basketball as I've been doing all season long. But again, as I said on the podcast, and really the theme of today, we all have a role to play. We all have a role to play. So the role of Coach Anders and Coach Mitchell, your role is to comment. Your role is to be a commenter. Your role is to be a consumer. Your role is to provide banter, which is great. Play your role. And my role is to be the guy on this side of the camera. My role is to be the guy behind the microphone. My role is to be the guy, my responsibility is to be the guy that calls it as it is, to be honest, to be genuine. That's what I've built the Spurs Up show off of. That's what I've built this business off of. And I'll continue to do that. And so I'd be doing a disservice to Gamecock Nation and all those who follow along with the content and support our content, support the business, support everything we do. I'd be doing a disservice to you all to sugarcoat, to be anything other than genuine and honest. And I'd be doing you all a disservice to not simply call it like it is. I'd be doing you a disservice to not demand more. So again, it's nothing personal to Frank Martin. As I've said many times, I think Frank Martin is a good basketball coach. The question's not, is he a good coach? The question is, does his style still work? Can he not only get players to South Carolina, but can those players flourish under him? And again, his biggest issue right now, and the reason there's a change needed, is because the program is dead. And I don't know if it's his fault. I don't know if it goes beyond Frank Martin. I think in some instances, some respects, it does. I feel for Frank a little bit. Because again, best 10-year run in school history. You made a Final Four. You know, your SEC record. He'll talk about all those things. But the bottom line is you're not making the NCAA tournament and you're not even getting close. So again, barring a major turnaround, there needs to be a changing of the guard at the top. There needs to be some new energy, new blood. This program needs to be re-energized. It's just not good enough to push it to the side and say, well, we're not supposed to be good in basketball. Well, with that attitude, you never will be. You never will be. So if we're going to sit there and watch every game and go to every game and cover every game, I'd prefer us have a, at minimum, entertaining product on the floor. I don't think that's asking too much. Daddy O says you could probably take a survey of all football season ticket holders and over half wouldn't even care if Frank stayed or left. Folks just don't care anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that's a death sentence, yeah. Cody Gaskins, have we ever picked up a 5-star kicker? I believe we have, Cody. I'm almost positive we have. Almost positive we have. Let's see. Anyways, but again, I appreciate the perspectives of Coach Anders and Coach Mitchell. I appreciate the perspectives. Let's talk banter. But again, don't just say, don't come on and comment and say, well, you're a slapdick for saying fire Frank Martin. You're this, you're that, you're negative. That's all fine and dandy, but give me actual reasons to be optimistic about the future of the basketball program. If there's something I'm missing, I'd love to know. I'd love to know. 843-790-3372. Guys, we are going to jump into a quick break. I want to continue to hear from you. Your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Continue to take your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. Again, guys, I want to continue to hear from you. By the way, it needs to be mentioned. We've been talking men's basketball, of course. How about the women? The women last night getting a big win over Arkansas on the road. And anytime you go on the road and win in the SEC, it's a big deal. So shout out to Dawn Staley's squad, 17-1 now on the season. Incredible stuff, guys. We can also talk Sterling Lucas has joined the staff. I know we kind of briefly touched on that on Friday, and it was approved Friday afternoon. So, again, we'd love to hear from you guys. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Yeah, Brownell's probably going to get fired as well. You're probably right. You're probably right. But again, guys, anyways, hey, listen, I'm going to be supporting and cheering for Frank Martin and this basketball team tomorrow night and throughout the rest of the season and want to see him win. Guys, confirmed, per sources, winning is a lot more fun than losing. So, I mean, I want to see him win. There's no question. I want to see him win. So, you know, I want to see him win, but something's got to give, man. Something's got to give. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and people want to be excited. I think Gamecock fans want to be excited about basketball. I do think Gamecock fans love basketball. Again, if you have any question about that, look at what Dawn Staley's done, man. They pack out the arena for those games. Like, it's not a Gamecock fans loving the sport issue, I don't think. It's just simply got to put an entertaining product out there. Drew Easterday says that Georgia game next year is looking more like a game we can take from them. I'm assuming you're speaking on football, correct, Drew? Let's see. Yeah, the football game. I mean, listen, I'm pretty confident going on record right now and saying it's an L. I don't think we're at the level of Georgia. Yet, obviously. I mean, we got a couple more years of recruiting to build up that competitive depth and get to the type of level they're on. But, you never know, man. I mean, the way that game sets up, you're going to take care of business week 1. You go to Arkansas week 2. God forbid you get that win there. You come home. It's probably college game day. It's a huge football game. You're in the top 25. You'll probably have them at night at home. Never know. I still think we've got a ways to go before we're really realistically competing with the Georgias of the world. But, it sets up to where it could be one hell of a matchup. That's for sure. Could be one hell of a matchup. Brian Dean says, is Bennett gone? I don't know 100%. I don't think he's announced yet officially. We'll see. I mean, again, guys, Georgia's not going away. Georgia is not going away. Did JT Daniels enter the portal? I did not see that. Wow. Yeah, there it is. Expected to enter the portal. Expected into the portal. I mean, it's not surprising. It's not surprising. I think Stetson Bennett comes back. I mean, he's not a draft guy. Like, why would he leave? I mean, I guess on one hand, you could say, hey, we won the national title. I'm going to go out on top. Carolina Titan, I've heard nothing in regards to that Georgia running back. I've heard nothing. I have heard nothing. Yeah, Brian Dean, apparently JT Daniels is gone. So it's the latest from Athens. But, I mean, again, it's not totally shocking. I mean, it's not totally shocking. I mean, it's crazy how JT Daniels went there and did not play. That's what's wild to me. It's crazy how he went there and just did not play. So, again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377 here on this Monday. And I know it's a holiday for many of you. It is a holiday for many of you. Podcast Daily Crow guys rolling as normal this week. Tin Roof Show on Wednesday as normal. Also, for all those who have applied to be a contributor or even a brand ambassador, in case you missed that announcement over the weekend, all those who have applied, I will be getting back to everyone as soon as possible. And I'm taking my time in regards to going through these applications thoroughly. So, if you haven't heard back yet, don't sweat it. Again, I'm taking my time going through these. So, a lot of exciting stuff, though. You know, tomorrow, of course, 1 month from opening day, we'll have new merch dropping tomorrow. Going to be pushing the baseball merch yet again, probably starting tomorrow as well. Really exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you. D1Baseball.com dropping their top 25 tomorrow. How about that? In case you missed it, also, Will Sanders named to the Perfect Game preseason All-SEC team, which to me is not surprising at all. I think Will's going to be one of the better pitchers in the SEC. I think Big Willie's got a big season ahead of him. Let's see. Again, guys, tomorrow, 1 month from opening day, we will start talking Gamecocks baseball content tomorrow as I begin the position unit preview series for baseball. Tomorrow's show will be starting pitchers. Thursday will be relievers, and then we'll get into position unit players, or excuse me, not position unit players. We'll get into position players starting next week. Justin Langford says, the Cockpit's Rowdy Roosters. I don't know about that, Justin. I'm rolling with Rowdy Roosters. I think having the Cockpit at Founders Park is I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't think it's a wise move. I don't think it makes any sense. So the Rowdy Roosters are here to stay. The Rowdy Roosters are here to stay, no doubt. The Rowdy Roosters are without a doubt here to stay. So, yep, the Rowdy Roosters will be back this season. Without question. Brian Dean says, see, we have a running back in from Columbia University. Yeah, it looks like, I guess, maybe we're going to pick him up. I know he visited or what have you, so. Let's see. Drew Easterday says the 3 games that are losses are questionable at quarterback now. Again, Drew, I hear you. I mean, is Georgia questionable at quarterback? I mean, again, I think Stetson Bennett is going to come back. Either way, Drew, again, like I said, my 3 losses I picked were A&M, Georgia, and Clemson. I still just don't think you're at their levels yet. But you never know. I mean, you never know. Spencer Rattler gives you an opportunity to win every game you play, truly. You know, if he has a game, he goes off, you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen. So, let's see. John Kruger, as far as I know, the spring game will be free to get into. I can't imagine on any planet you'll have to pay to get in the spring game. So I think the spring game is free. As far as I know, the spring game is free. As far as I know, the spring game is free. Yeah, Brian, the North Greenville PWO that just committed yesterday, or was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I think yesterday. So. Yeah, Brian, hopefully it's a night game. They haven't officially announced that yet. Hopefully, though, it is a night game. Hopefully the spring game is at night. I think that'd be really, really cool. Let's see. We got a couple texts here. Let me get to the text line really quickly. If I had missed your text from earlier, I do apologize. We got a text that says, "Hey, Chris, huge Gamecock fan. Thank you for keeping it real. Frank has done some amazing things as our basketball coach. One tournament appearance in 10 years at another school would get you terminated." Pretty simple. Alex here. If Frank Martin doesn't win out and he's fired, who would be your top 3 coaches to go after? I mean, again, guys, I really haven't sat down and put together a list. But hey, I like the suggestion of BJ Mackey earlier, to be honest with you. Let's see. Question about the team in general. Seems like you're pretty high on the team in general, but we lost by the end of the season all 3 starting pitchers and 2 solid bullpen arms, not to mention 5 or 6 lineup guys. What makes you so confident in this team going forward? I get Will and Julian will do their job, but there's still a lot of unknowns about this team. There was a lot of unknowns last year too. I mean, I like a lot of the talent on this team. You know, it's not like you're depending on a bunch of just guys who've never played baseball before. I mean, 2 of your guys are probably going to be in your starting 9. Kevin Madden was a starting third baseman at Virginia Tech, and Brant Belk was a starter at Mizzou. So, you know, feel good about those guys, and you know, you got talent in the staffs. Talent is not lacking. You've got good stuff on your pitching staff. It's just all about which guys step up and fill those roles. That's what it'll come down to. So, Luke RJ says, I think South Carolina fans still care about basketball because they support the women's team. I know people say they don't care and don't watch, but that's because there isn't much to brag about when watching these games. The Final Four run was just so good that people still want to see Frank get back to that level, and they don't want to give up on him yet. Dude, I just want to be on the bubble. I don't want to. The Final Four, whatever. I just want to get on the bubble, personally. New vision is needed. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate it. Again, you can text that number, guys, 843-790-3377. If you do want to text the number, you can. Travis says, hope we have a more of a traditional spring game this year. Last year was a little weird. The drills, play a little game, then back to drills. Yeah, it was strange. I mean, every coach has their own preference, man. And again, I mean, spring games are cool for fans, don't get me wrong. But, you know, spring game's a spring game. It is what it is. It serves as kind of a celebration of, hey, like, you know, showing off a bit from what they've been doing in the spring. But spring game just is what it is, man. You can't draw. I said it last year, and I'm sure I'll find myself saying it again. When we get closer to the spring game, that you can't draw conclusions from a spring game. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is, and yeah, so. And also, yeah, Trevi, I think lack of depth certainly hurt you. Yeah, I think lack of depth is another reason why they didn't play a longer game. So, Matthew Jones, I appreciate that vote of confidence, my friend. Yeah, I'm very passionate about Gamecocks, about the Yardcocks, Gamecocks baseball. And, yeah, I mean, again, there's questions on this team, no question. Again, we'll continue to break them down as we get closer to opening day. But I do feel good about this team. Again, you know, how much better will this team be than the team last year? I don't know, but I think the way we win will be different. I think we'll be much more productive at the plate. I don't think we're going to be living and dying by the home run necessarily, but we'll see how that translates out. Again, you do have pieces to replace, but so does every other team. I mean, you know, most teams have guys to replace. When you have really, really good players, they're going to get drafted, and you're going to have to fill holes. You're going to have to. You're going to have to. I mean, that's a positive. You want guys to get drafted. You want guys drafted. That's a good problem. It means you got some good players. So I think we've got other good arms. I will say the fact you're not going to have Jackson Phipps and Jack Mahoney's a bummer. I think that's certainly a bummer. So I think especially Jack Mahoney, man, would have been incredible. Yeah, Trevi, I think you'll definitely see more small ball. I think small ball is definitely going to be a bigger part of what we do. By the way, Pro Football Focus, PFF Anthony, which is Anthony Treesh of Pro Football Focus. He's a senior college analyst. He listed Spencer Rattler as the third best returning quarterback in all of college football. So that's a cool list to be on, man. That's a cool list to be on. That is a cool list to be on. Let's see. John Kruger. Jackson Phipps had Tommy John surgery. He will not be available this season. Austin Greer says he's been hearing the comparison being thrown out that Jaheim is the next Debo. Debo is a top 2 receiver in the NFL right now. Let's slow down. Yeah, I mean, I understand why people are saying it, what they mean by that he's a Swiss Army knife, a little bit of a do-it-all type player. You know, I don't think people – I don't know that people are really trying to make like these unfair, unrealistic comparisons, if you will. But I tell you what, by the way, what Debo's doing – unreal. It is unreal what Debo's doing. Truly. I mean, we all need to stop and really give kudos and give credit to what Debo Samuel is doing. It is – he's a human highlight reel, man. Every single week, every single game, he's making some big play. Every game, every week, he's making some big play. It's incredible to watch. Truly incredible to watch. Yep, JT Daniels. JT Daniels to the portal. How about that? Yeah, how bad Muschamp under? Yeah. To think we had Debo Samuel, Shi Smith, Brian Edwards, Hayden Hurst, Rico Dowdle, all those guys on one offense is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Hey, guys, we're going to jump into one final break. Appreciate you all tuning in. I do want to continue to hear from you. 843-790-3377 here on this Monday, January the 17th, 2022. Guys, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. Just 10 minutes to go here on this Monday, January the 17th, 2022. Again, guys, quick reminder, if you have not done so, check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 578. Full breakdown. It was a busy weekend, by the way, a full breakdown of everything that happened over the weekend. Really, really busy weekend from men's basketball, women's basketball, staff additions, everything in between. So really, really good podcast that dropped this morning. Check that out. Also, guys, Big Cock Club exclusive conversation with former Gamecocks wide receiver Tori Gurley. If you want access to that, patreon.com/Big Cock Club. That's patreon.com/Big Cock Club. And as always, we will have plenty of clips and content to follow from that conversation on social media. But again, if you want full access, patreon.com/Big Cock Club, or just click the link in our social media channels. Click that link in bio. You can join via there as well. My guy, Phil, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, Phil. Catching the last 10 minutes or so. By the way, Phil, I don't know about the weather up there, but man, it is cold here. It is very cold. Scavenger 843 in the Big Cock Club Discord asked about the spring game and when's the last time we had a spring game at night. I don't think we ever have. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the history of the spring game forever, but in recent memory, we have not had one. So that would be really cool. I mean, I know fans would get fired up for that for sure. I know fans would most certainly be fired up for that. Let's see. Phil says, daily weather for Fort New Hampshire, 44 degrees and partly cloudy. Phil, I think it might be colder here. I'm not even joking. I think it actually might be colder here. Let's see. It is, I think it says 44 degrees. Yeah. High of 44 today. Right now, it says it feels like 37. So, Phil, it's cold for here. It's cold for here. Let's see. Courtney Washington tuning in. Courtney says, I can't lie, Chris. Men's basketball Saturday looked bad. Courtney, I can't lie. I think there needs to be a change at the top, and I've already called for Frank Martin to be replaced at season's end. So, that's where we are. Again, no vitriol at all. I don't dislike Frank Martin. I don't think he's like some terrible basketball coach. I just think the relationships run its course, and this program needs some fresh energy from fresh blood, some reasons for optimism moving forward. And the only thing that's going to make that happen, as I said at the beginning of the show, is this. One of three things. Either number one, you got to go pick up a 5-star game-changing type of prospect. Number two, simply put, you got to win games. Or number three, a changing of the guard at head coach. Those are the only three things I think that can really salvage the program and re-energize the Gamecocks men's basketball program. I think those are the only three things. So, again, I don't dislike Frank Martin. I'm going to be continuing to pull for Frank Martin and pull for this team the rest of the way out. Again, this is not going to be like the Will Muschamp situation where I was kind of beating a dead horse there for a while. Man, I just want to see us win. I just more importantly want to see fans be excited and hopeful and optimistic for the basketball program. And right now we have none of that. So, hey, who knows? You go on the road tomorrow night and beat Arkansas at their place. That'll certainly help, right? That'll certainly help. The fun is in the winning, the hope, the optimism, the positive energy. It comes from winning games. And maybe this team needs to feel like its backs are against the wall. Maybe it needs to. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a positive. You never know. Maybe that'll be a positive. But it feels like this season is just headed down the path of most seasons in the past. And, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to have reasons to be optimistic and excited about Gamecocks basketball again. And right now we just don't. Nobody does. Nobody does right now. That's what's tough. Nobody does right now. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. So what's crazy now, too, is, when I went on record and said fire Muschamp, I was kind of making the bold take, right? I was making the bold take. Now, nah, man, fire Frank Martin is just normal. I mean, that's, I'm behind. I'm late. Most of you have already been done. So, I waited as long as I could, man. And, here we are. So, here we are. We'll just keep on keeping on, I guess. So, Twan Love Kick says, go Yardcocks. Indeed. Austin Greer says, have you noticed any engagement decrease due to our basketball team being laughable? Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, Austin. Definitely the numbers do. I mean, they drop a little bit after football season. I mean, that's to be expected. I think even if we were, I don't know, though. I mean, listen, if we had a tournament type of team, I don't know what the numbers would be like. But, as of right now, they fall off a little bit. I mean, it's not some huge, drastic drop-off. But, there's probably a 10% decrease, 10 to 15% decrease in just sheer number of downloads and listeners, if you will, and stuff like that. I mean, again, it's just, we all know, right? There are some people that really just tune in for football season. I mean, we know football's the peak. Let's just put it that way. Football season's the peak, right? That's the peak. So, Travis says, if we do somehow make a miraculous run, will you change your mind, Chris? Absolutely, Travis. Absolutely. Absolutely. If Frank can somehow figure this team out and get this team to make a run to the tournament, hey, I got no issues with Frank Martin returning the next year. Again, I don't think Frank is a cancer to the program, or he's a bad dude, or he's a horrible coach. It's just, we just need something to energize us. We need something to happen. Something. Because the program's stale. Hey, you go on a winning streak and make the tournament? I'd have no issue changing my mind, to be honest with you. I'd have no issue. But I just don't know what there is that would tell you that's a realistic possibility. I mean, I hope it happens, Travis. I hope it happens. People get this misconception that they think I want to be right. I want to win. It was so funny after Muschamp got fired. People were saying, oh, TSUS had it first, and Chris, you were right. And it's like, I never really wanted to be right. I just want to win games. I don't have some great desire, to be right. We all just want to win. Anyways, we'll see what happens, though, man. Again, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity left. And again, you go on the road to Arkansas tomorrow. You got Georgia at home on Saturday, which will be a massive game. Anytime you play Georgia, and we've owned them the last couple of years in basketball. So it'll be a huge game. Of course, it'll be a huge game. But we'll see what happens. Guys, again, quick reminder, check out the podcast if you have not done so. Episode 578 that dropped this morning. Also, great conversation, a Big Cock Club exclusive with former Gamecocks wide receiver Tori Gurley, as I break down all things with him, South Carolina football, the 2021 season, Shane Beamer, the addition of Spencer Rattler, 2022 outlook, all that good stuff. Again, great stuff with Tori Gurley. Also this week, guys, just a quick reminder, everything as normal this week, podcast, Daily Crow, Tin Roof Wednesday, and also, of course, tomorrow, officially 1 month until opening day, and we will begin our Gamecocks baseball content starting tomorrow. Really excited for that, guys. Again, really, really pumped to dive into the Yardcocks, and again, count down the days until first pitch. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, by the way. Hope you're enjoying your Monday, no matter what you're doing, whether you're you got the day off due to the holiday, you're having a snow day, whatever it is. whatever it is. I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. And again, that's going to do it all for me, guys. We've hit 2 o'clock. Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, guys, check out the podcast, check out the content. Stay tuned to everything. Going to be another very, very busy week for us here on the home front. But again, guys, hey, thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.